Well, I want to give us a little passage, and it loops back to something you were saying there, Zach. This is from Article 8 of the Introduction to the Chiropractic textbook, written by Stevenson in 1927. So Article 8 is on Roman numeral 16 of the introduction. Chiropractic is a deductive science. The deductions are based upon a major premise that life is intelligent, that there is an intelligent creator who created matter, attends to its existence, and gives to it all that it has. Many of the deductions are now proven facts because of thousands of clinical findings supporting them, and thousands of observations of the laws of this intelligence. The theories and hypotheses of chiropractic are based upon these proven deductions, which render them plausible, and nearly every year, some of these theories become proven as solid facts of science. That, Zach, I wonder what you think about. To me, that seems to resonate, that we have these major principles that guide us, right? The major premise, and then the sub-principles that correspond and flush out that major premise. And some of those things, like we said earlier, the metaphysical, might not be able to be in totality measured by the inductive process. However, and this is a place we've had conversation on laboratory versus clinic and what we might find different in both of those, and I'd love for you to flesh those out for us in a moment, is what is the interplay between the deductive and the inductive, between the clinical and the laboratory, and how are we actually 100 years after this text was written, are we getting closer to seeing a marrying of the deductive and inductive conclusions?
Yes, we are. To answer the question, yes, we are. The reason we are, as was stated here, the more time goes by, the more collective evidence that comes in that supports the major premise and the first principles of chiropractic. Clinical settings are actual reality. It's not isolated variables. It's how is this in actual reality with all variables, known and unknown. And in reality, there will always be unknown variables because there's always more to discover. There's always more to deepen. And so results of consistent clinical results that continue to show again and again and again are showing us that there is something consistent behind them. And this is how we get evidence of our principles. Peer-reviewed research sometimes includes consistent clinical results and case studies and different ways to engage that. A lot of times it's isolating things. And so I think it's important to realize that science is not limited to the inductive isolations. Evidence is evidence, and consistent clinical findings is very strong evidence. So I think that's important to say. So laboratory would be you have a limited number of variables, and you have a understanding of the variables, and you're manipulating things, and you're able to get valuable information from that. Clinical setting is you have what you know, and you're engaging something, and you're seeing the outcome, and then you're analyzing. You're saying, well, based on what the limited amount I knew, and what we did, and what happened, how is that match? Is it giving me clues of more things for me to go and discover? So it's always evolving. It's a beautiful thing. So they're both important, and they need to work together. And the evidence-based chiropractors would benefit greatly from understanding the value of the evidence of consistent clinical findings. and how that grounds us and further verifies our principles. Namely, that there is an intelligence in the body that is constantly working to heal that body, to optimize that body. And if we remove interferences if we facilitate the body's removal of its own interferences, which is really what's happening, then it allows the body to heal better, to perform better, to function better, to recover better. And that's so foundational that so many seemingly, yet to be studied and peer-reviewed things are accomplished. Things that have, are just now being studied or have never been studied that can be accomplished through chiropractic because you're foundationally enhancing the optimization by removing interferences.